If you like The Last Jedi, you are not a true Star Wars fan. If you like The Last Jedi, you are not a true Star Wars fan. If you call people who don't like The Last Jedi racist, women haters, hate mongers, sexist, man babies, bigots, all right Nazis, what is going on? You don't even know who these people are. In this day and age, any intelligent person with common sense knows that these types of behaviors, like bullying, are not welcome anywhere. And they're not as common. But do they happen? Absolutely. And more so in certain parts of the world. But to the average 2018 normal person, it just doesn't exist. In no way does nonsense like this apply to the lives of intelligent, civilized people in the 21st century. Do you know what a true Star Wars fan does or should be saying with the biggest divide in Star Wars history? Oh man, that many people didn't like it? Alright, well, I loved it. But I guess I can understand why. But alright, let's just hear the reasons why they don't like it, and let's see what we can do to fix it. So that both sides can come together to make this the best Star Wars that it can ever be. You see, we all have different perspectives in life, so some may like the movie, some will not. But to call people names when they like or dislike something takes away from the real issue. Now, most people will be saying, it's just a movie, let it go. And we should be focusing on more important things. And you know what? They're absolutely right. But now, now, it's become more than just Star Wars. That's why I started this channel. Now, how is it more than just Star Wars? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's because social justice warriors, SJWs, and some people at the top of Lucasfilm have taken things to a level that's just mind-boggling. You liked The Last Jedi? That's great. I honestly don't know how, but that's fine. But you can't deny that Lucasfilm employees have been name-calling fans who don't like the movie with some words that are, quite frankly, are like bullying. Any business model knows if something isn't working well, you find ways to fix it. I run a bike shop business. If a person who had worked on his bike came in and said, I did a bad job on his bike and that it didn't work, I don't call them a racist or tell them you don't know anything about bikes and if you don't like it, to leave. Do you honestly think that I'll be in business long with that attitude? No. I would hear what they have to say, take a look at it again, and we find a way to solve it. You see, the way I look at it, if you like The Last Jedi and you call people who don't like it names, which does nothing with the real concerns we have, by the way, but you turn it around and say, logical haters of the film are the bad people that are racist and whatnot, you see that is a type of harassment, an insult. So let's call it as we see it. It goes both ways. If you condone Johnson calling people man babies, you support harassment. Yes, I know those are insults, but either way, doing this to fans is just wrong. And if someone on the so-called hater side harassed anyone, first, they don't represent the side that's fighting for Star Wars. Second, they don't count as someone with common sense. And third, we call them out because we don't want the message to be lost from the real issue. So stop lumping us together that haters of The Last Jedi are people who hate women, blacks, whites, whatever. Now, let's really stop the hate and fix the real issue. Now, here's an example of the kind of thing I'm talking about where Lucasfilm should be taking lessons from. If you're an employee of a company and you name call or entice customers or fans, even if you are right, that company would still say, that person doesn't reflect this company and we don't condone any action like that. Now, what do you think happens to that person in that situation? Yeah, they get fired. This is and should be the standard of every company. Here are two real-life situations, and if you ask me, the same thing should happen to Rian Johnson. This first one is ArenaNet co-founder Mike O'Brien posted on Guild Wars 2 forum saying, recently, 2 of our employees failed to uphold our standards of communicating with our players. Their attacks on the community were unacceptable. As a result, they're no longer with the company. As a company, we always strive to have a collaborative relationship with the Guild Wars community. We value your input. We make this game for you. Holy macaroni. This is exactly how Lucasfilm should be handling it. But guess what? They're not. The next example is Disney firing James Gunn from some disturbing tweets from 2008 or so. Now, I'm not going to read what those tweets said, but I'm sure most of you know anyway. Now, granted, it was over 10 years ago, and I do believe people can change. However, at the age of 41 at the time, he should have known better. Even if they were just jokes, I'd be embarrassed to be tweeting those. But to me, it's the mentality. And for Disney's reputation, they had no choice but to fire him. You know what it's called? Accountability. In the end, it's how it looks upon the company with their customers, regardless if it was 10 years ago. The point of these stories is that this is what should be happening with the employees that disrespect fans within Lucasfilm.
Please, no, I cannot be fired. I'm fired. Ah!
Anyway, I'll end with this. The rebels, us, are fighting for the following. Now remember, I'm not speaking for everyone, but I'm sure most would agree. Better storytelling. Don't rush the story. Rush stories are never good. In fact, that takes away from character development, which brings me to my next point. Better character development. Man, woman, alien, whatever. Not changing previous characters such as sexual orientation. Leave past characters alone, create new ones. Better planning for future Star Wars. Have a damn plan instead of episode to episode. This is Star Wars, not Days of Our Lives. Firing of Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, and whoever bashes the fans by calling them names. This would stop identity politics, stop the hate, stop the people from having shirts with the Force is female, when everyone knows that the Force is not a man nor a woman. And if you are truly serious about harassments and insults against other people, they have to go. Not building a character as superior with no reasons while bashing the opposite sex. It goes both ways. Have logic in the story. It has to make sense and it has to flow. Those are just some of the things that we're fighting for. And if there's anything more that you'd like to add, let me know in the comments below. We don't condone hate. We want equality, but not at the expense of storytelling. We don't want identity politics and quotas just to have it in the movie because equality is everything. Now, I'll give you a quick example. The Canadian government, Mr. Trudeau, wanted 50% men and 50% women within the cabinet. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But the way they did it, it was kind of forced to be 50-50. My point is this. I don't care if it's all women, all men, half Chinese, half Indian. Doesn't matter. All I care about is having the right person for the job. Not, oh, we need a person in this position because we have to meet a quota, but she's not qualified, but that's okay. Now, if it so happened to be 50-50 men and women, sure, that's great, but you shouldn't be given a medal for it. Get the job done with the right people, no matter who they are. There are so many things wrong with the current trilogy. I just want to add why it's losing fans, and it's because it reverts from the OT. There's no progression or explanation. We want growth in the story and with characters. An example would be Han Solo reverting back to a smuggler. I'll be quitting my DJ side job this year after 20 years. Do you think I'm going to revert back to it? The answer is no. I'm moving forward in life. The point is all these characters are unrelatable and the story suffers because of it. Anyhow, there's so much to say, but I'm going to end it here. In closing, if you haven't joined the Rebels, I'll have a list of channels to follow below, which I'm sure most of you are following already. And it's a great community and you'll feel welcome. That's it for now. Let me know if you agree or disagree on what was said on this video, and thanks for watching. This is Stand Up for Star Wars. We would encourage you to create your own YouTube channel. And if you don't want to do that, you can send a video to me with your phone saying, "My name is," and I rebel. By doing this, I'd like to show your video here on this channel, probably as an intro to every video I make, and eventually, once I collect enough, I'll create a collage of all those videos, one after the other. It's gonna be glorious! Remember, By saying you rebel, you're not just fighting for Star Wars. You're fighting for common sense as well. Now, I found this paragraph and I thought I'd share it with you. Here's to the crazy ones, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who see things differently. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they could change the world are the ones who do. Now, I'm not sure who said this first, but we are on the right side of history. My name is Ches, and I'm from Canada. Thanks for watching.